back for another episode talking about inside the 48-hour film competition. And today we are here with
Vernard Adams.
So what got you into filmmaking?
Wow. I guess I was bored and I wanted to do something outside of my job. So actually, I didn't really want to do film at first. I just wanted to do stunts because I was hoping to get in shape with that. And it turned out that when I went to acting class at North Coast Casting, I got into more of the filming part than I did stunts, and I had a lot of fun with that.
What aspect do you like to do? Like the acting part? Do you like to direct? Are you a writer?
I definitely like to act, and I like to write. I'm learning how to direct. I tried a tad bit of editing.
Yeah.
I have a whole new respect for that.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes, but definitely the acting and the writing.
How many 48s have you done?
I have done 19 48s.
Wow.
And I'm planning on doing the global one coming up, so that'll be my 20th.
Nice. And this is the 20th year for
Yeah.
48 this year. So, have you always been on the same team? Do you have the same core group of people that you, or have you been on several different teams throughout the?
When I started out, I started on several different teams.
Okay.
And then I ended up with Empty Light Pack. I started doing stuff with them for a while, and Cosmic Octopus was another.
Interesting names.
Yeah.
Is there stories behind those names?
There probably is, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I know with Empty Light Pack, there's 3 different companies. So, for right now, I can't remember each individual one.
Okay.
Cosmic Octopus, I know they've told me the story, but I can't remember that one either. But basically, both groups, great group of guys, great people to hang out with, and a lot of fun to be with. But then lately, I started doing my own group. So at first, I started out with Misfit Toys. And since I joined this other group the year before, and they were called, I believe they called it the Three Knights, and we decided to combine their names. So now this year we're coming as Misfit Knights.
Misfit Knights. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the reason you chose the first name? Misfit Toys.
Toys.
Yeah. You have a story behind the Misfit Toys.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy at work, and he would always say, he goes, "Man, we're just like a bunch of Misfit Toys, like the Island of Misfit Toys."
Oh. Yeah.
I think was it a year without Santa Claus? So and I decided, and it just kind of stuck. So I kind of like it. So Misfit Toys it was.
So with your own team, were you just a director then, or did you write as well, or what was your role for you being the captain?
Well, being team leader, yeah, I was definitely director, definitely writer, producer. So yeah, I did a lot of things.
You said you touched the editing too, or no?
No editing. No editing for this one. Nah, I let them to the professionals.
Have you guys won any awards or were nominated for any awards throughout your entire?
Well, I've been doing this since 2010. So the first time we actually did it, we got best ensemble in casting.
Nice.
So that was great, and we got runner-up.
Okay. So
that was great, and throughout the years, I've been nominated for runner-up, and nominated. Actually, I just recently got nominated in horror for. I think that was not last year, but the year before that. I think we got nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Is it the one with the robot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was funny. Yeah.
Yes. So that was
comical.
that was a lot of fun to do. So I was like kind of shocked. It was kind of funny. That was actually a funny story because we were actually at a wedding and a lot of us actors were there, and we were all looking at our phones and seeing who got nominated for the 48. So that was a hoot. But we actually with Cosmic Octopus we actually won for Grassman.
Okay.
So.
Do you have a favorite 48 that you were part of? The one that sticks out and you're like, ooh, I'm just so proud of this one. Like, what are you the most proud of?
Man, that's taking me back.
Yeah.
That is taking me back. Actually, I have to say it was the year we won Grassman, because it was the first time I actually did 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And we did, I was with Empty Light Pack,
Mm-hmm.
and I was also with Cosmic Octopus. And it was funny. So it was exhausting, but it was a great time because I got to hang out with a lot of my friends doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And Grassman won, but the Cure took runner-up.
Like both your teams?
Yeah.
So you were an actor in both, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then how did you work that? Did you guys both film on Saturday, or did somebody film on Friday?
Yeah, that's exactly how it worked out. I knew that one of the teams would end up filming that night. So with Indie Light Pack, we always end up filming late that night.
Mm-hmm.
And well into the morning. So I'd be able to come home, go to sleep, and if the other team needed me, which they did,
Mm-hmm.
because I needed to wear the Grassman suit, which was basically a Chewbacca suit, and a weird wolf-looking mask. And they ended up calling me up at like 6, I think like around 6 p.m. And because they were waiting for it to get dark, and then all of a sudden, when I got out there, I got geared up and ready to go and ready to, be the horrifying Grassman.
So that's interesting that you say that. I was going to ask, when you do a 48 throughout these different teams that you've been on, is there like a set structure? So you said this team actually wrote and then just went ahead and filmed on Friday night. That's a lot. How do they know like the costumes and stuff? How did everybody get that? That's tough.
Yeah, it really don't. I mean, from the time that you figure out what the genre is,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you have like several different locations. Each team is different.
Mm-hmm.
Each team has a different style of how they're doing things, and sometimes it just depends on if you can get that location.
Mm-hmm.
There is a plan of what needs to be done. With Cosmic Octopus, I really didn't know what the plan was or what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of already with Empty Light Pack, and when we were sitting up there and we were writing out scripts and stuff and figure out what we wanted to do and what our location. So we're all looking over the script, making sure everything is okay, who has what, need to go back home and grab some stuff, come back, film, do what we need to do. And I know with Empty Light Pack, we're normally there until like 7 a.m. in the morning.
So you do all night long?
Yes.
That doesn't leave a lot of time for editing then on Sunday if you film on Saturday.
Well, no, Friday night.
Oh, Friday night, okay.
Friday night till Saturday, 7 a.m.
Wow.
in the morning.
Okay.
So, yeah. And so
that's long too, especially if like you work all day Friday and then go pick your genre and then you got to be up all night.
Oh. Well, there's a
sleepless weekends.
Well, I have a reputation of sleeping in the 48s.
Oh.
I can't do it now since I've been team leader. Mm-hmm. But I know with the Indie Light Pack crew that I always find a way to sleep. Mm-hmm. When we did, I think it was Crawford. It was like a found footage. We did a found footage, and I wore the Bigfoot suit, mm-hmm. or Chewbacca suit, and all I had to do was lay on the ground, and I felt somebody poking me with a gun, and I fell asleep on the ground. But it was so nice and comfy. It was warm.
Was that in the summer or was that in the fall?
That was that was the horror one.
Okay, so it wasn't super hot.
No. It was super cold.
Yeah,
but I was nice and toasty. Everybody else was freezing.
Mm-hmm. So, what would be some like do's and don'ts about the 48? Like things that you know that absolutely are a bad idea to do from your experience, since you've done so many, that you could pass on to other people and say like, don't ever do this because this never works. And then some things that you should absolutely do every 48 because they are essential.
Oh man, that's a hard question, because I mean, doing it for 10 years and doing different aspects of it as a team leader, mm-hmm. Try to keep it simple.
Okay.
That's the one thing, and that's the first thing I try to learn. Try to keep it simple. Maybe small casts. Make sure trust the people that you work with. Try not to do everything yourself. That's the best. That's the best thing I can offer you right now. There was a lot of. That's what I learned. Of course, you were on set with me when we did. There's no Iron Cyclops.
Right.
And I had a ton of people on the set, and it was hot that day. There was a lot of noises.
Your makeup kept melting.
Yeah, my eyeball kept melting. I kept touching it because I wanted to stretch it because I was sweating that day. So I learned a lot doing that, and I think each turn it kind of makes me a little better when I do it, because besides doing stuff at the 48, I'm trying to do stuff outside the 48 as well.
Right. What if you could change one thing about the 48 to make it better? What would you try to do to make it better? Like something like, oh man, I wish they would do this. What would that one thing be?
I wish there was an easier way to see all the screenings.
But instead of going to different A group,
yeah,
A,
the
B,
A, B, C, yeah, it gets exhausting especially when you want to see all your friends, and all their finished product, and when you're there, like about time the second screen comes around, you're just like,
I gotta watch 12 more of these.
You just got off work, and then you have to fly out of there if you have to work the next day. And a lot of people come from out of town, so it's just like
it's always packed though.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. It's a good time. I like the audience reaction. That's what makes it.
That's the best.
Yeah. It's fulfilling.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you have any projects coming up that you want to plug or anything?
Well,
I know we've been in quarantine,
yeah.
So everything's been on hold, but I'm sure you got stuff that you would have been filming now.
Yeah, well, like I said, me and the guys, we decided to get together outside the 48, and we were going to do our own stuff for different festivals. And we have a project called Challenge Accepted, and it's basically about a bunch of guys, and it's about the male ego.
Yeah.
And it's kind of got an Impractical Joker kind of feel to it. And basically, guys get into an argument, and they are offered this challenge through this mystical jar. And it gives them, let's just say things don't quite go as planned. And when you lose, you really lose.
Gotcha.
So I'll leave it at that. But we have 3 of those, and it was actually.
Is this gonna be like a web series, or?
Yeah,
or just episodes, sort of.
It's gonna be kind of like episodes. So they're shorts. Yeah, they're shorts, and they're actually silent films. Okay. So it was actually a challenge brought on by Brosia.
Ah.
So instead of doing 1, I ended up doing 3.
Got it.
So it should be a lot of fun. But we were supposed to do it in March. We were supposed to do it at the end of March, and then that's when everything happened. So we're not exactly sure when it's going to head out, but we're working on other stuff. We're trying to work on a series of shorts, just so I can learn how to edit a little better. And I decided to work on this one project, which is called White Noise. So we're hoping to get that out at least by midsummer, and then it'll be the first project I'll ever edit.
Is there a category or genre that you haven't picked yet that you've always wanted? Like, oh, I hope we get that you haven't gotten since you've done it for 10 years? I'm just curious.
Science fiction.
Science fiction?
Science fiction. Yeah.
Interesting. I've never asked anybody that question. It just sort of popped in my head here. So if people wanted to see your work or reach out to you on social media, do you have like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? How would they get a hold of you?
I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I do have a actors site on YouTube. I also have an actress page on Facebook under Vernard Adams, or it might be under Vernard Mongo Adams.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, I'll put all those links in the bottom of this video here, and appreciate you taking the time.
All right. Thanks.
All right.